Hello and welcome back to the Mission Accepted podcast, where not only myself, not only my guests, but chances are you are on a mission. We love our audience. You send in these such interesting questions and comments, and thank you for sharing all over the world. We pull our analytics and find out where you are. So thank you. I know that some of you listen to us doing all sorts of things like running, walking, exercising, working. Because this is good stuff, right? I mean, if you're an entrepreneur, it is, I mean, I'm an entrepreneur. I've been an entrepreneur for a long time. Our guest has been an entrepreneur for a long time. And when you are an entrepreneur and you decide to take the mission, there is an ongoing need, I believe, to have new information, stay inspired, stay motivated, keep it going so you can keep it going. Super excited. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about business development. And it might not sound like fun unless you're in business and you are developing, and you want to make sure that you're developing in the right way, in the right arena, and you want to kind of trim some of that off. You know, some people call it biohacking, and I'm like, well, when I started being an entrepreneur, it either worked or it didn't, or you were trying to make it work. I mean, there was no such thing as biohacking. But I think that there's things that you can do to help facilitate things to have a higher yield of success, whether that means it takes you less time to get there. And that's why we listen to podcasts. That's why we're listening to, magazines or reading magazines and watching TV shows, is to give ourselves more information and new things to make decisions by. I'm super excited. We have Patrice Baker in the house. Yes, we do. She is in the house, and she has come in smiling and ready to share. She has been in business for a number of years. She has a vast amount of world experience. We had our first conversation just a few weeks ago, introduced to me by another woman who's living a dynamic business life. So,
Yes.
Patrice, welcome to Mission Accepted Podcast.
Thank you, Deborah. Thank you. I appreciate being here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's share with our audience today. First, I mean, Patrice loves working with women over 50.
Mhm.
There's women all over that she has words for. And if you're a woman or those that support women, you need to tune into hearing what she has to say. Inspirational speaker, motivational speaker, author. And Patrice, tell us a little bit about yourself. What is it that you're doing right now in your business? I know, like some of us, we've had a couple, right?
Mhm.
But what are you
Yes,
doing right
yes.
now in your world, in your business?
Right now, I am focusing on taking the materials that I've gathered over the years at various social media and putting them into a business model. Because oftentimes we start a business without the model. And so uh, I've learned many things along the way. I've worked with many people as far as their products and the type of business support that they have available as I got started. And then over time, I just added and built on that for myself. So it's an exciting time.
It's an exciting time.
Mhm.
Well, it's funny when you talk about how, many people don't have anything in place before they start. I
Mhm.
call those the creative entrepreneurs, of which I am one. I have to say, the first time I got my idea for my first business,
Mhm.
I was taking a holistic massage class, and
Ah.
I was pregnant. I was almost ready to have my daughter, and I was like, hang on a second. If I grabbed a piece of paper and I'm like, if I do this much massage, this many massages, this many days a week, this is how much money we'll have at the end of the month, and will this work as a business? That literally was my first business plan. Not highly recommended, but it did kick off the business. I love that what you're talking about in terms of business development.
Yes.
So what would you say? People always want to kind of go for those, like, what's the top? I want to talk a little bit about what are the things, like, what are those, a couple of things that you find worth sharing, that if someone is in a business, or starting a business, or revamping a business, which would be key factors for having that business be successful?
Find a mentor.
Mm,
Find a mentor. I'm someone, many of us have charged forward in our lives without one over the years. And we've taken our experiences, we've taken our business attributes, we've taken all of our skills and improved
yeah.
over time, but we need a mentor. A mentor will guide in times of despair, in times of I don't know what to do, in times of what do I do next. And also, we need a guide. That guiding light sounds kind of, but it is in a way. because we can follow that. And as we follow, we discover what works best for ourselves.
No, very true. I mean, people have said, and I'm sure if they said the same thing to you, it's like,
Mhm.
how do you do what you do? Why do you do what you do? And those conversations that you can have kind of, I say, behind the curtain, right? Like those real
Right.
conversations, where you're at, where you want to be. There's
Hmm.
a lot of, I'm not there yet, or this didn't work the way I wanted it to work yet. And just
Hmm.
sometimes having like, you called it a guiding light, and I think it's very accurate. It's like,
Yes.
because as an entrepreneur, you need hope. And I think predominantly so many are working alone. I mean, we had the shift. And so we weren't even working in co-op offices and things like that anymore. So
Right.
a lot of times being alone, working alone, even if it's successful, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's like, even if it's successful, it's great
Right.
to have someone banter the suggestions, the ideas. I mean,
Right.
I was just talking pre-show with Carmel about an event we're planning. I'm like, sounded like a good idea at the time.
At the time. And also hone your passion, discover what it is. Because once you do that, then you're part of the work. It's not effortless, but it's enthused. It's automatically enriched because you have a passion for what you're doing. Find out your why. They tell you that all the time. Why are you here? Why are you doing this? And
Mhm.
those two things combined are going to propel you forward even during the dark times.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so you've been in business, you help women over 50 kind of lay, it sounds like, some considerable foundation. And we call it top performance over here.
Hmm.
When you do something that yields higher, when you have, there's something that you do outside of getting a mentor and outside of really working on the foundation. What are the
Hmm.
things that you do in your business, or what are the things that you suggest that these women do in their business that helps top perform them? Give them kind of the edge
Hmm.
on having success a little quicker.
Put yourself in places where people know more than you. It's a
Mhm.
scary place to be. I oftentimes had thought, well, if I go into this, I need to, be the one with the information. However, I don't know what to do are real beautiful words. And when you step into the space where people are already doing what you want to do, you get to feel that energy. You get to sense and make connections. And that's what it's all about. It's putting yourself out there. Somebody said showing up, it's hard to show up often for us as women. We want to sit home and behind the scenes, we do so much. We manage our lives and everyone else's lives. And
Mhm.
now when we step out on something that is a passion for us and we really want to succeed at it, it's difficult to kind of boost ourselves out of that comfort zone and go out. I would say get out of your comfort zone, go in a place of growth, and just show up as authentically as you are. Authenticity is much better than perfection because perfection doesn't exist.
It reminds me, thank you so much for sharing that. It reminds me of, just that conversation about go do something different, go do something different.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
because, like you said, I find that, men or women, but particularly
Right.
women who take a lot more on in relationship to out
Yes.
the things that they're doing outside of their business, is that there's always a reason, and it can seem really reasonable. I was talking to a colleague yesterday, and I'm like, ask yourself if it's true. Now, yes, it's true. There's an event that you want to go to. Yeah, it's true that you're tired. Yes, it's true it's late at night. Yes, it's true. But you know that there's something there for you because you said you'd do it. Yes, da da da, this happened today. Yes, this happened today. But can you push past that? I think that it's particularly even for women that are established, that are
Yes.
having success, sometimes shifting and just going and doing something different. And like you
Yeah.
said, either being, being the new person in the room
Hmm.
or the new person to that information in the room. But it can be scary at any level, because at any level
Absolutely.
you can go be the top to the bottom, the top to the bottom.
Yes. And also know why you're going. So sit a few minutes with yourself and ask those internal questions. What would be one thing that I could accomplish by doing this
Mm,
that would support me in a way, encourage myself and maybe meet another person. So you set goals before you leave for this event. Setting goals all along the way, small ones, It doesn't have to be gigantic. I'm going to get this speaking engagement right off the bat. No, uh, but I'm going to, there's some area that I need to grow in. And if that's having a conversation with someone about what I do, then, ask someone, how do you do that? It really, people are generous and people love
Mhm.
to share. I'm a sharer and a giver, and so are you. And if we're usually the one giving, so we don't
Mhm.
look at ourselves as being the receiver, but it's time to receive.
Very cool. Very good. Very well said. Business. A lot of times people start a business because they're really good in finance,
Mm,
accounting, styling, making jewelry, numbers. What about this thing called sales?
mm,
So, one of the things that we obviously we talk to a lot of people in the world of business, and a lot our audience is that, and they can be really well crafted in their craft. And then they have to learn about this thing called sales.
mhm.
Was that a journey for you? Did that come easy for you? Because I think that even if we are really, really, really top crafted, we still
Yes.
have to relay that to someone in a way that's going to want to make them purchase that
Yeah,
from us. Do you have any
absolutely.
words on that?
Yes, I do. I get excited, as we often do, about selling and about taking our product, which is usually us, our authentic selves, out into the world. And that excitement kind of wanes when you realize there's a process to sales, and there's a process to getting in front of people. There's a process of a lot, presenting yourself in a way that people want to buy from you, they want to work with you. So you have to ask yourself those questions first. Why would they want to do that? You know, that's a huge part of selling yourself. Why would somebody want to work with me? If you don't know, they don't know. And so sales has techniques in it, within it, of course. However, the one we need to convince usually is ourselves that we're good enough, that we do have, some information to share. We do have value. And that's the beginning of even, before you get to selling, what
Yeah.
is your value? What are the experiences that you've had that support that? And what's your story? And, I work with women and their story all the time. And I help them reframe it because oftentimes our first story can be pretty ugly.
Hmm.
And we carry it around and like a bag of, you know,
Like,
whatever you might say.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah,
baggage, baggage.
yeah.
And I help women reframe that so that then your story becomes an empowering part of yourself and propels you forward.
Thank you. That was very insightful. I do believe that it is a bit of an awakening for people.
Mhm.
One, when
Mhm.
they realize that not everybody knows what they know about their products, about their
Yes.
results, they're like, yeah, but it's everywhere. But it's very important for someone to be able to learn how to
Yeah.
articulate what they do and how they do it in a way
Mhm.
that is a skill.
Yes.
People, I think, get a little frustrated. Oh my
Mhm.
gosh, now I need to go learn how to sell this, because
Mhm.
many times when people are getting results, you hear it, I hear it, many people, they're like, oh my gosh, I'm not where I'm supposed to be. Is it
Mhm.
the website? Is it the PR? Is it I'm not posting enough on social? Is it that I'm not going out enough? And I do say to people, and I'm sure you explore that as well when you're working with people, it's like there's this thing called sales.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
you can look really good and have the best website and all the things. Sometimes
Mhm.
that is a skill, and it curates itself over the years, right?
Yes, absolutely. And it's difficult initially when you start a business to find the resources that you need. I, like many others, probably yourself, have paid lots of money for things that did not work. And over time, I don't regret it because it has built within me a resource bank, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
I'm better at identifying what I really need for myself rather than paying for something first. You get that discernment within, as far as what the product is and what you really need.
Yeah.
So that's a huge part of it. And sales is oftentimes when you mention the word sales, that just scares people right off. Yeah. And the words come up, well, I'm not a good salesperson, but so and so is. And so yeah, that is and also having a great team. I want to talk a little bit, your dream team. I'm building that now. I have some members already, and I know what I need for people to work with me going forward. You
Mm-hmm.
have to know that. take the time to know how you work with others, or if you work well with others. And, and
Mm-hmm.
that's part of the process. My work is all done on it's the inside job. It's the emotional self. It's the self that shows up, but nobody really sees it. But it's driving the show. It's running the show. And so once you do that inside work to know who you are and what you need and the tools you need to work better going forward, that's says a lot. That will help tremendously.
No, absolutely. Thank you for sharing. One of the biggest risks that you took, the when people are developing themselves personally or
Mhm.
developing themselves in their business, there's a risk. Personally, someone's like, I need to make changes. Maybe it's that phone call to that counselor or coach that they know that they need, or walking through the doors of some
Mhm.
kind of group something, or I'm going to go do some art therapy, or I'm going to take a course on personal development. We know personal development and business
Mhm.
development have an intimate relationship. You just talked about
Yes,
reframing. But what about
yes.
for you in terms of business? What is one of the gutsiest or riskiest things that you ever did? Workout or not workout? Not
Mhm.
doesn't matter, but what's one of the riskiest things you ever did?
The riskiest thing I've ever done is to share my story about my personal journey with my son and mental illness. And it is directly and indirectly tied to who I am and how I speak and inspire and encourage women as a mom in particular. You don't have to birth children to be a mom. I know this. And so my message is to everyone, and it is the we walk around in the shame of, I don't want to tell my business. I don't want to tell my story. And I've been told that, even by my parents, telling your business again.
Yeah,
And my take on that is that we all have a story and it's hidden on the inside. And if someone doesn't expose it or share it, you're not going to know where you need help. You're not going to know any more about yourself than or why you do the things that you do, which is utterly important. And so, how you behave. And so I've always been interested in what drives people to do what they do. And that's a huge part of it. Stepping out there, opening my mouth, sharing, and have people look at you a little strange, initially. Um, my passion kept me moving forward, but it's risky to put yourself on the line. And a lot of people hesitate or don't because of that. What do they think about me? I can't tell my story. And I believe that you can, because every story is our story.
that's powerful. That's powerful. And it is one that people dance with. If I
Yes,
tell my
yes,
story, what is that? How will I still look professional?
yes,
If I tell
yes,
my story, will they say, oh, that's why she does what she
yes.
does because of that instead of maybe not, and because people want to put pictures together or puzzles
Mhm.
together, right? So I think that there's
Yes.
a lot. What will my family say? What will my children say? Will it be taken out of context? All of those pieces, I think, are part of why people don't share, or they share a part of the story, but not all of the story. And yeah, big stuff, big stuff. Um, okay, are you with us today? Yeah, you're good. You're good. Your camera was moving a little bit. We're good. Can you hear us?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Oh, okay. I just was checking to see if you could hear us. You're good? You can hear
Yes,
us? Okay, awesome.
yes.
Okay. Um, so if you could I'm gonna just ask a couple more questions or just have a conversation. If you could do anything else in the world, or if you could do something in addition to what you do, what would that look like? What would that dream look like? Oh,
I have thought about this, and I would have been an FBI agent.
ooh. Oh, how interesting. I was just listening to someone who was an FBI agent. I
Mhm,
listened to her in the morning about communication techniques. I
mhm.
just find it fascinating. Interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And the reason I would be so sorry.
No, it's okay. It looks good. It looks good, hon. Don't worry.
Okay. The reason I would be an FBI agent is because I'm a strategist by nature. I
Mm.
am interested in uh, behaviors,
Mm-hmm.
again, why we do what we do. And there are solutions to, the type of cases that are handled by people like that have a huge impact on making the world a better place when everything aligns. Not everything aligns in the process. The person, perpetrator, whomever, doesn't always get caught, and justice is not served. However, I love the process, and I'm a process person. The
Mm.
process of the interaction going through each of those stages for me is enlightening and helps me know more about people. So, yeah.
Wow, that's very interesting. It's so interesting. I'll have to connect with you and send you who I've been listening to. You would find her quite fascinating. Um, Look, why don't we kind of wrap up the show a little bit, Patrice? Would maybe tell us so people can understand. Not everybody. I mean, we understand strategy and we understand business development and going on the inside to hopefully have a better experience on the outside per se. But if you could share a little bit or um, leave us with something to think about, like if I was one of your clients, if I was over 50 and I was looking for something different in my business or my life,
Mhm.
outside of the things that we talked about, what would you suggest that I do? Where would I start? I mean, I'm gonna call you, but where
Yeah.
would I start? And what could I hope to achieve by that? What are some of the things that your clients say, oh man, after that I feel or I have or it
Mhm.
changed? Yeah, let's finish off with that
First thing they say is, I didn't see it that way. And I love it. As I'm able to share it from a different perspective. Oftentimes they say, I wish I'd have known that when I was younger or sooner. And I'm letting them know it's not too late. The time is now.
one.
Uh, women in particular, it's very difficult for us to look outside of the role that we play. And so what I offer it as a gift to themselves. Um, I live it myself. It doesn't, success means different things to different people. And so I live it in the way that I feel like I'm thriving and I identify with them. Thriving doesn't mean making a lot of money. Thriving can mean doing something, going to your favorite, to the movie once a week.
Mm-hmm.
It can be
Mm-hmm.
small things. And if you start to look at it that way and take care of yourself, because if you don't, you're not going to make it through the journey. It's a journey. And the journey means that you have to equip yourself with all your strengths, you have to work on yourself and take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And when you do that, you're better with other people. Yeah.
Very true, very true. Well, my dear, we're going to completely change this up.
Okay.
Let everyone take that in. That's amazing. My audience knows what to do. They share, they do all the things. But I'm going to take us in a whole different direction. You're going
Okay.
on a vacation. You're
Ah,
going to this beautiful private island. You and you, just you and you. And in that suitcase you're taking, you have room for one album. What
mhm.
album are you going to listen to that you could not imagine not listening to for the rest of your days? It could be a song, could be an album, could be a singer. Who you jiving to?
Oh my gosh, so many come to mind.
I know, right? It's like, what do you mean only one? This is
Exactly.
only one.
Yeah. I'm a 60s girl. And so, we had all kinds of it, but this keeps popping up. Gladys Knight singing "The Hunter Gets Caught by the Game."
Ooh, okay, okay.
And I remember that song. And I remember, oh my gosh, understanding the meaning of that. And, we do that, well, who's hunting whom? And who actually caught the person? Did you catch me or did I catch you?
Oh my
So I
God.
think that would be a reminder of our humanness. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Thank you
Mhm.
so much for sparking us today. You have such a beautiful energy and you have this great big smile. I know that some people are viewing and some people are listening. I was going to talk to our listeners for a few minutes. Look, we have all of Patrice's information in the show notes. Please reach out. Please share this episode. And look, if you see yourself sitting where Patrice is, well, this is not difficult, people. It's debdrummond.com. There's a little contact link there. You can go there and we can have a conversation. And of course, I want to invite you. You know, we do these incredible summits. We have 2 incredible summits coming up. Our next summit is focusing around health, wellness, lifestyle, and all the things. We have 2 incredible panels coming up for you. That's in November. This episode is going to come out just before August. And in August, we have 2 panels. And those panels are going to be Women in Symphony. It is going to be women in music. Now, there's going to be the variety of speakers as we always do. We're going to be in every time zone all over the world. So no excuse for you. And if you're like, oh my gosh, August 7th and 8th, I'm in Tahiti getting massaged day and night and you can't make it, well, you're going to be able to watch us on one place only, and that's the Women's Channel. If you want to have your own TV show, I want to have a conversation with you. If you want to watch our TV show, then go to debdrummond.com and start watching these incredible, incredible women who have been speaking and sharing on our stages. Patrice, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Deb. This has been an honor.
Yeah, it's been absolutely a blast. There's been so many golden nuggets. And audience, as always, I'm going to tell you to be well and stay groovy, and we will see you next week. Bye for now.
Bye-bye.